Guys, watching the final seconds tick down over here on my right. Washington takes it 28-21. We got a road win. We got a win that we got a not just a win, but a game that the defense desperately needed to prove that they were competent, and we are bowl eligible. So, few cool things happened. Um, Successful at the end of the day when you beat a California team that is, I'm not going to pretend like they're good. They're probably not. But when you beat a Cal team that is not a complete bottom feeder on the road, given the struggles you've had on the road so far this year to stop anything, that's an accomplishment. So, good to be back in the winner's circle. And hey, we now know for a fact we're getting a bowl game. We don't know what bowl game. May not be an amazing bowl game, but you know what? Good enough. Good enough for me. The season has, maybe we're like a win away, but we're basically at the point where I was hoping we would be this season, where I thought we would be 7 wins or so. So we're right there. We got a chance to surpass it a little bit, maybe even. As for tonight's game, it was actually a really weird game, right? Like you had a start 6-0 at halftime where it feels like the offense can do no wrong. It feels like the offense has no problem moving the ball, but they really struggle on the ground. Um, Even with the couple of sacks that Penix took, overall the ground game was not really consistently there. Cam Davis averaged 3.5 yards a carry. The team as a whole had barely 100 rushing yards. California didn't do any better, by the way. In fact, they probably did worse. But running the ball was a bit of a struggle, so third downs were tough. Third downs were a bear in this game for sure. But Penix, he lit it up. He's back on track after a couple of shaky moments. He's looking he's looking like one of the better quarterbacks in the nation again. He broke the school record in the last game, and by the way, I know I never made a post game video for that game. That was mostly because I didn't watch it live, so I just decided I wasn't really going to have anything to say about it. But he's killing it right now, and his stats are going to be among the prettiest in the entire league by the time this season's over. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback, but he's going to have very gaudy stats. And at some point, somebody's going to give this guy a chance at the NFL, I believe, if this is the way things are going to go. So, Penix, obviously the big star of the show. Receivers, good. McMillan, I really like watching that McMillan guy play. He's a guy who I don't know if he has a future in the NFL, but I feel like he probably does, and that's exciting. So I I just don't know what's going on with this ground game. We were better in short yardage today. I will say that when we needed to pick up 2 yards on 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, we did. When we needed to pick up 3 yards on 3rd and 2, we did. But there was not a lot of production coming from that ground game. And combine it with a little bit of bad luck, Penix was able to go off in this game, and we still only had 6 points at half. And through a lot of this game, um, it looked like it was going to be some weird game where we find a way to somehow only score like 13 points, and we'd lose 14-13, where the defense plays their behinds off and it doesn't matter because your offense can't produce, which was going to be incredibly weird and also incredibly frustrating. But the second half got here and things kind of returned to normal. The Huskies scored 3 touchdowns. Cal scored 3 touchdowns in the second half. It wasn't all a shootout, admittedly. It wasn't a complete shootout. Washington was able to get a couple stops in the fourth quarter. Washington wasn't able to close out the game with their offense in the fourth quarter. So you still saw some good defense. And I will say, maybe those guys are turning the corner a little bit. They got a little bit better pressure today. They did a great job stopping the run. DeCarlos Brooks played okay, but overall, I think the run game was something we handled very well. And I know Cal's offense is no good, but Arizona State's offense isn't particularly good, and they went up and down the field on us like it was nothing. And honestly, for Cal to get 21 points in this game, that credit to Jack Plummer. He made some incredible throws into very tight windows. I don't know how he made some of those throws, but it wasn't like we had receivers running wide open the whole game. It was passable. It was okay. We actually had some decent. We actually had some decent coverage in this game, which felt like a departure from many recent games. So happy for the defense. Obviously, next week we play Oregon, and I'm not expecting that to go well for us at all. Oregon's Oregon, and our defense is still going to be on the road against Oregon, so low expectations there. But hey, for now, it's good. For now, life is good. The defense was good enough to complement the offense. They even carried the offense for a little bit of this game, and 28 points ended up being enough, and that's more sustainable. So it felt good to see the team get the win on the road, but obviously this doesn't change anything in terms of where this team is overall. Like, this team still has oh, excuse me. This team still has some real issues. Like, there were so many third downs in that second half where the defense just makes one more play, gets off the field, and they find a way to just not quite do it over and over again. Very frustrating. And that's going to kill you against a better offense than what Cal has. And I don't really understand what happened to this offense. I don't really understand what happened to this offense today. It was so weird watching them really have to pull teeth to even get the ball into the red zone in the first half. Got a little bit better in the second half, but even then, they had multiple chances to just completely put the game away, and the defense kept getting put back out there. So it's just one of those things where this ground game, I guess it's still not where we want it to be yet. But obviously this video is coming right at the tail end of my stream that I did today. It's the 10-hour stream, so we're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon here. It was obviously a lot of fun, successful because the Huskies won, and it was overall a fun day. Don't plan on doing a lot of 10-hour streams, but I think that it was successful. We got to watch a bunch of fun college football today, a little bit of baseball, maybe a little bit of NBA as well. So I want to thank everybody who showed up to the stream to make that possible. But just for the Huskies' purposes, it feels a little bit weird. It's obviously not what it was a couple weeks ago when it felt like this team had a chance to maybe, I don't want to say undefeated, but it felt like the team had a chance to be a champion of the conference. It doesn't feel the same now, but we're playing a bowl game. Good enough. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bow down to Washington. Got to win number 6, 6-2. And hey, they're all going to be counting us out against Oregon, and they probably should be, but got a chance to roll in there and make something good happen. So I want to see what they can do.